Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a bit about hunting and its origins, why this part of the world matters to hunting and also throughout the country. Ladies and gentlemen, hounds and hunting is a matter that I know excites people, but there are thoughts for the person that brought hunting to this country. That was really the French and the Normans, and in Europe, the hunting gene is still very much there. And when William the Conqueror beat King Harold of Hastings, he brought with him the hunting and the manner that it was done with hounds. Ladies and gentlemen, there are reasons why parts of the country are called chases. And we know, just to the east of us here, Cranbourne Chase. That was an area that was administered by the king. We also know that the New Forest too is an area of interest. Why is that? Because that area was preserved as it is, and still today as an area that to pursue this. In those days, it was part of their lives, and to this day, in France, hunting is controlled by the state. And that may make some policy. The reason for that is that the forests are all owned by the French government on the day degree that this undertaking should take place. They have use the skin of deer and other animals, particularly those who perhaps be injured in some way. And there's a very special man who goes around in full French forest, and he informs the huntsman where he can go and which deer or animal he is to take. It is a method of control rather than using a rifle. And of course, in those days, they didn't have rifles. So what they do is that they designate an area that they're allowed to hunt, a license is given, and the hunters go out in France to do exactly that. And then when they have must go home. If they are successful, they also must go home. And that sort of tradition went over to the United Kingdom all those years ago, and it was near Blackpool that the first pack of hounds was probably constituted in 1765, not far from the Star, and that's hunting started in the UK. They used the hounds as a means of control the spot and also across the country. So that spread throughout the United Kingdom, and the tradition of fox hunting, if you like, and also the deer continued all the way through. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that has now changed, and we are under the law of hunting a trail. And you will see in the far side of the main arena, on the northeast side, the bloodhounds. The bloodhounds are a special breed of animal that only hunt the clean food. That means people. And the bloodhounds were used in the old days to chase criminals across the UK. Today, these hounds hunt a trail, just like the foxhounds. And the bloodhounds we've got here today have come up from Hampshire, and then look at their hounds, and you'll see they look completely different. And this is the key. And these hounds hunt this trail, and they eat its places, and people have their horses arrive, and they follow the trail. I'm going to have a chat to the master here to tell us a bit more about the hounds. And in a moment, everybody. So welcome to you all. And the bloodhounds, they do a lovely sound. Good morning, master. Hello, fellas. How you doing? So, just tell the crowd a little more about your hounds, sir, please.
Thank you very much. So, yes, these are crossbred bloodhounds, and we hunt what's called the clean breed.
Yeah.
So if any one of you now was to set up across the countryside, as long as I know where you started, I just come along with my hounds, and I say the magic words, which I'm not going to use right now, otherwise I won't see the hounds for a couple of hours, and they will pick up your scent, and they will hunt you. They don't hunt a trail, they don't hunt a drag, they hunt your clean human scent. That's what they do.
And where are you from today? Where's home for you? And how many times do you go out? And it's only the winter, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll start at the end of August. We start with what we call tub hunting. We call it tub hunting because our boys have had the summer off and gone a bit tubby. And we start off with short hunts of about a mile long, looking 4 or 5 of those a day. The hunts will get longer as the season progresses, with the opening meet to middle of October, and they'll end up hunting hunts of 3 to 5 miles, and they'll do 3 or 4 of those per day. Hunt right the way through to the middle of April. Because our hunting is so controlled, we can go on with quite a long season because we know where we're going to go.
Thank you very much indeed. And a big round of applause to the bloodhounds. They are the most magnificent animals. Look at them, they're quite happy. And with the master's permission, in a moment, I'll just go and speak to the other pack here today. We'll let the public in to say hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see them here. We're going to go across to, again, one of the oldest hunts in the land on the far side. These are the local pack of hounds. They are the South and West Wilts, and they hunt the trail, which is very different from what the bloodhounds hunt. So it is, as he said, the clean boot, and what they do there is to put a trail down, which the man runs, and away you go. Now these animals up here, these are pure foxhounds. The foxhound has been developed since Beckford in 1765 to hunt the fox. Now, that is no longer allowed, but of course there are communities throughout our countryside that depend on hunting. And when you say depend on hunting, I mean horsey. I mean picking up fallen stock from the farmers, which all hunts do as a service to their local community. There are hunt supporters clubs that meet, and in the winter, and I'll tell you a story in a moment how I bought my farm because it was connected to hunting. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important you understand that this community goes back many, many years. For those who disagree with it, I can understand that is their right and point of view. But what they don't have the right to do is to sort of make it violent and unpleasant. I respect their view, but they must respect mine. So we have the South and West Wilts here, and an old friend of mine, the kennel huntsman. How are you getting on? I've just known him since he was down at the South Dorset. How's life? Good, it's lovely to see you. And our master here today, I'm just going to talk to him about hunting the trail and all the rest of it. Good morning, master. How lovely to see you here. Can I hand you the microphone and you can tell us a bit about how you lay the trail so that everybody understands? So, it's a typical chestnut that's just being a bit wary.
Thank you very much. There we go. Not much good at karaoke, but I think the most important thing for me to say this morning or this afternoon is some of you may be aware we have a bit of a political fight on our hands. The current government has pledged to ban trail hunting.
Hooray!
Whether it's foxhounds, beagles, harriers, bloodhounds, mink hounds, drag hounds, to name a small sample of all the hounds that would be affected by such a ban. In order to fight this, we need support and we need weight of numbers. The Countryside Alliance and the British Hound Sports Association, our governing body, have just started a new campaign for hunting. To fight this iniquitous piece of legislation, we can't do it without the support of hunting people, of farmers, landowners, shooting people, racing people, fishermen, the lot. Hunting is the thread that binds the countryside together. And it's important now more than ever that we do stand together.
Where's the Portman and the BSV? They're not here because they have criminal convictions. I haven't got you in it.
Now, it's quite right that some people may not agree with this, but they don't have to take part. But as I said, and it was eloquently put by the Master of South and West Wales, it is part of country life and has been since Beckford started the hounds in 1765. There are between 15,000 and 20,000 hounds in this country. They are bred to hunt a trail, a line, or whatever. If it is all banned in any form, the bloodhounds, who are perfectly innocent,
The bloodhounds are not
will
affected.
have to go.
No, they won't.
Also, every single foxhound or beagle
It's not in
terrier
the
will have to go as
consultation.
well. What do you do with a pet animal?
It's
We-
not. Well, that's up to you. You've been breeding them.
Your voice there, and you're quite entitled to take that. But what do you do with them?
You've known it
Ladies
from
and
the off, and
gentlemen,
you've
this
been
is
breeding
part
them.
of
Yeah.
many people's lives. When I left the army, I came up to Dorset, which I knew anyway, and I went to see a small farm in a place called Manston. And the farmer there, who died only last year, said to me, "Are you a hunting man?" And I said, "Well, yes, I am." I said, "I've been a master of hounds and I understand them." And he said, "Good. And where do you come from?" And I said, "Well, I come from around the world." And he said, "That's fine, but you've got to come from Dorset for you to be able to buy this farm." So I said, "Okay." I have lived in Branchpuddle in South Dorset, and he went and checked in. And he said to me, "You can buy the farm. I'm going to knock 5 grand off because I like you." And I said, "Peter, why did you do that?" He said, "I've never put anything over a horse. I don't have horses, but hunting is my lifeline." I said, "Peter, why is it?" He said, "I'm a backpacker. I've got 150 acres. It is my job to go out and watch the hounds work on a trail every Saturday. I finish the dairy, and then I put the cows out and come and then join my friends who I meet up with, and we're part of a community that do not get on a horse. We're not grand. We are simple country folk who enjoy the art of hunting." And
Simple,
he
isn't
said,
it?
"You must continue what you do here."
Nonsense.
Sadly, he died last year,
It's a
a
shame.
great loss. But I tell you that story, people will have their view. But the master said quite rightly is that what is it with a government that tries to impose on country folk something that has been going on for centuries?
Because they're a bloody nuisance, that's why.
Do it. They've done it in France and it's hugely successful. Why not in this country?
Because we want
Otherwise,
sense,
we're going to have people
more animal compassion.
upset at all moments. And I just ask you to have a look at these hounds and think, okay, so we ban hunting.
Yeah.
What do we do with these magnificent animals that have been bred as a pack to live together? And those of you who might decide, I'll inherit a foxhound or another hound, believe me, it won't work. Why? Because they are pack animals, they live together, they feed together, they breathe together, and they're looked after lovingly by their kennel huntsman.
Until they're 6 years
The
old.
plea about hunting is genuine. Ladies and gentlemen, the art of venery goes back hundreds of years. And if you like, it is the freedom that we, those who agree and like hunting, to be allowed to get on and lead their lives without being harassed. The law is clear. We must hunt a trail, and they do. And ladies and gentlemen, whatever your views are we really going to consign to a dustbin after 4 or 5 centuries of history this part of country life?
Yeah, that's where it belongs.
Only those who follow the hounds with an afternoon with nice horses, but also then what are they going to do about the evenings they organise, the race meetings they organise, and all the other activities from the pony club through elsewhere? Ladies and gentlemen, it is controversial, of course it is, but I just ask you, we're in an agricultural area. This is an agricultural show, and we must show our support for the countryside. it will be empty without hounds and hunting and social life. And another thought. What happens to the horses? If they don't hunt at all, and they're not allowed to, then what do we do with all the horses? What about the saddler? What about the feed merchant? What about anybody else who's the vets who depend perhaps on hunting yards and a chance to develop?
You could go to clean
And
boots.
just leave
You
that
could go to
sort.
drag.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, can you, if you wish, bring your children into the main arena? But ladies and gentlemen, I want your hands put together to salute the art of venery in this country, and long may it continue. Ladies and gentlemen, children, I'm going to ask the grooms to get off there, take off the certificate, this tester, and then I want the children to come in and have a look and find out more. Come and meet the hounds, everybody.
Yeah, they don't. Children, hand washing facilities. No, you're not on the film. I'm interested in the dogs.
The social life
I'm
of
interested in
many
the dogs.
people, I can assure you of that. And of this great country of ours, that is called England.
Just interested in the children going in. They haven't been warned about the diseases that these dogs can carry on account of their kennel life.
They got everything, every animal.
Yeah, but
So-
these more so. These more so.
Children,
The children aren't in, the children aren't in after stroking foxes at the moment, are they? They're being invited in to stroke dogs. They're completely unaware of the diseases that these dogs can carry.
Having the hounds, have you?
Have to interact with animals.
You have.
Yeah, this is a whole different scenario. There was one in Tiverton had salmonella.
So, Mr. Farmer,
Sorry. They took that.
part of our lives is when you.
The past commentator spot.
Yeah, make sure you wash your hands afterwards.
Anything else?
I love
Thank you for talking. People
Thanks,
think
well
I've
done.
bored with you. Oh, sorry, but I have to talk.
One of the Tiverton Fox hounds had salmonella on
Come in,
Boxing Day.
ladies and
Sorry?
gentlemen, come
One of the
meet the
Tiverton
hounds.
Fox hounds had salmonella on
Yeah.
Boxing Day.
Show your support for the continuation of trail hunting in this country.
They're not invited in like this. They're not being told of they're not being told of the risks. And there's no hand washing facilities. Even if you've got, even in a
My job,
statute,
if you like.
you are told that your children have to wash hands. I'm not interested in everywhere. I'm interested in this.
Same time. It's very important for those who,
You might have
perhaps
risks in life,
a different way.
but you do your best to avoid it. And this is not happening at the moment. Well, I would with kids,
Tell you,
personally.
last year, I
No, but then they're not informed, are they? They just think it's all very sweet.
watching the hand.
Know what you lay as a trail. What do you lay as a trail? What do you lay as a trail?
All dressed in black.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, what sort of scent?
came up to me.
I know what sort of scent.
For,
It's an animal-based scent.
which he said to
The
me,
website says so.
is unrepeatable even amongst the roughest, toughest soldiers.
It's synthetic. Well, why are you telling me it's synthetic if you don't know? Because it's not. It's fox urine or it's roadkill, but it's the smell of it.
Yeah.
It's
He-
Portman in the BSV today. Where's the Portman in the BSV today?
I said, what
No.
do you do?
Yeah, they're not here. Why? Do you know why they're not here?
I said to him,
Why's that then?
you have the right.
Yeah.
Well,
Convictions for the BSV too for the Portman. Yeah, recently.
they have the right to do.
We didn't hear that today, did we, with all this baloney about how innocent it all is? It's not.
Because you're 6 foot tall, I'm 5'5", you then try and sit me in my own land, in my own country. You
No, they don't do it because the law needs tightening and it will be tightened.
have to get out of his way,
Get convicted.
but it was not a nice experience at all.
Yeah, but there's going to be a damn sight more.
I don't mind. the police
There's gonna be a damn sight more.
In this country.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't sit out and have animals torn to pieces, do they? These do. Well, they do.
But it is their right to do so.
No, I'm not wrong. I've been out, I've seen it, I know what happens.
And
Well,
this
I've
is
been out and I've seen it.
You take these fox hounds anywhere that there's the smell of a fox,
Gillingham.
they're gonna be after the fox.
Fed
You should find out
of the
after
farmers.
this.
It depends on feedback.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, if you took my jack off anywhere when the smell of the ground would be after in a.
What's that got to do with an organised group?
Gentlemen, leave that.
It's a whole different thing. Please don't try and tell me that this is similar to somebody going out with a dog to throw a walk.
Right. I see the ground.
Yeah, and it's organised and it's orchestrated.
In the 1750s in this country, and also earlier,
Trail hunting's obviously not fine, or they wouldn't be changing the law.
that is not the way Britain or Great Britain.
It would all be put down.
And I leave that.
It's shot at 6 or 7 anyway. It is true.
But
Kennelmen,
Drink the hands.
well, kennelmen have told us that. Okay, if it's not true, what happens to them? Because there would be an awful lot of fox hounds, wouldn't they?
until that,
I hope you're enjoying
Yeah, at 6 or 7.
of public life.
Oh dear, did I not do it? Oh, never mind.